Well, debt collection practices in Maryland deepen poverty and widen the racial wealth gap. This, according to a new report by the Maryland Consumer Rights Coalition. The report, titled No Exit, found that more than 500,000 Marylanders live in poverty, made worse by student loans, medical expenses, and toll fines. Under current law, residents can be jailed for failing to pay their debts or even having up to 75% of their wages garnished for consumer debts under $5,000. Senator Will Smith and Delegate Eric Barron are proposing new legislation to update the practices.
We want to look at things we can do differently so that we can really provide people an out from sort of a vicious cycle of poverty and a way to have a pathway to prosperity. And to do that, we wanted to document what we are seeing right now in the state and what's been happening.
Today we discussed two proposals. One was to basically get rid of the exemptions, the structure that we've had in place in Maryland, which has been in place since 1988, which would allow families that are trying to make good on their debts a little bit more latitude to address their needs in terms of satisfying their debt, but also able to survive and live without being in poverty. The second piece of legislation we discussed was body attachments, which is essentially arresting people because they owe a civil debt. We want to eradicate that practice, or at least limit that practice, so that no one will ever have to spend a night in jail again in Maryland because they owe a civil debt.